don't listen to Generation X. Don't listen to Generation X. You feel me? Like that's the title. Stop listening to Generation X, especially if they sleepwalk, especially if they sleep, especially if they haven't woken up from this world. Because I'm gonna tell you this, bro. Like, and Generation X might be your parents, depending on how old you is. You feel me? I'm talking about the kids that's in Gen Z and have Generation X parents. You feel me? Stop listening to Generation X. Stop listening. And the reason why I say that is because they will keep you in a mental prison. Let me say it again. They will keep you in a mental prison. Have your parents ever denied your goals? Have your parents ever say, "Oh, that's not gonna work out"? Or have your parents ever told you, "Oh, that's too risky"? Right? Like, one thing that you gotta understand, especially when you grow up as a Gen Z, bro, like once you grow up, once you graduate high school and all that, like you gotta stop listening to your parents, because your parents gonna like keep you in that same cycle, and your goal may be to break that cycle. Your goal may to be break that cycle. You feel what I'm saying? But your parents want you to continue the cycle. Why is that? Because that's all they grew up like learning. Like that's what they've been told in their head. They've been told the government's on their side. They've been told that going to school, getting a career job is the best life to live. Like Generation X is mentally trapped and they don't realize it. Gen X is mentally trapped and they don't realize it, and they're teaching it to their kids, and it's going to be a continued cycle. Why do you think how the world is right now? It's because people do whatever they've been taught. People believe whatever they've been taught their whole life, right? If you have goals, aspirations, dreams, bro, don't listen to Generation X, especially if they sleep. Because all they're gonna tell you is go to college and get a career. That's all they're gonna tell you. But when it comes to you starting that business and investing money into your business, investing money into that YouTube channel, investing into whatever you want to do in life, they're going to say, "Oh, that's too risky. I think that should be plan B." Or, "I think you should have a plan B." One thing that you got to understand, bro, is that you got to have confidence, and you can't let your parents, you can't let nobody that's from Generation X tell you you can't let them break that confidence. And of course, all Generation X people aren't sleepwalking. Of course, all Generation X people, aren't sleep. They know what's going on. They know what it takes to get out of that mental prison. Some of them do, but there's a good majority of them that don't know what's going on in this world. All they do is consume, and they teaching that to you. All Generation X do is consume. This is why they're mentally trapped. Back to what I was saying, my bad, my phone battery. But back to what I was saying though. All Generation X know is they believe everything on the news. All they do is consume. Why you think they're mentally trapped? And they've been mentally trapped for so long, they've adapted to it. You feel me? And it became like a thing where it's like, oh well. You feel me? But no, bro. But us Gen Z, we don't want that for ourselves. We don't want a stressful life. We want to take risks. We want to, go on the unpopular road. We want to go on create our own road. We don't want to be on a road that others have already walked. And that's what parents teaches you, is to go on the road that others have walked. Again, not all parents, but majority of parents. They tell you to go on a road that people have already walked because it's safe to go on. They teach you to be a natural follower. But I've noticed in my generation, bro, there's a lot of leaders. It's just that we're scared to like just show it, bro. We're scared to show it. And don't let nobody make you scared of showing your leadership skills, bro. If you want to start something that you think nobody else have started, go ahead and do it, bro. Real shit. But Generation X is the most sleep generation. All the generations before Gen Z is the most sleep generations. And I might get hate for this, but I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Because it's true. And they cannot deny that shit, bro. All they do is consume, and that's what they're going to teach to you, is to consume. You get what I'm saying? Going to college, that's a sort of consumption. Like, you're consuming. Like, you're using what the government has already, like, you're using what the government's given to you. And of course, you know, I'm not saying don't use what the government's given to you, because how this world was created and how this world was built in recent years, that's what you're going to have to do to get by. But if you want to start that business, go ahead and start that business. If you want to be a leader, go ahead and be a leader. You don't gotta be a follower. You don't gotta follow the path that others walk, bro. Like that's why people are so comfortable with their lives, bro. That's why Gen X is so comfortable with waking up every single morning and going to work. Waking up every single morning, going to work, coming home, feeding their kids, going to bed. That's what they do on a consistent basis, and they've gotten used to it. You feel me? That's how the brain works. Once the brain get used to something, it comes a habit. But I noticed in Gen Z, we don't want that for ourselves. We want to be able to go to fucking Hawaii on a Monday. I want to get to a point where I'm going to freaking Jamaica on a Monday, Jamaica on a Tuesday. I don't want to be at work working a 9 to 5 on a Monday, all the way to Friday. I want to be in Hawaii from Monday to Friday. I want to be traveling around the world Monday to Friday. But to be able to do that, you got to understand what it takes. You have to understand what it takes. Everybody that's watching, if you're Gen X, Gen Z, whatever, I don't even know all the freaking groups, right? But whoever's watching, to be able to get to that point to like financial freedom, and I'm not there yet, you know what I mean? But I'm starting to understand what I have to do. I gotta stop listening to people. I gotta stop listening to people that aren't woke, that doesn't know what's going on in this world. You gotta stop listening to people. That's the first thing you gotta do. And it starts with your parents. It starts with your parents. Real shit. You gotta stop listening to your parents. And that might be the hardest thing that you gotta do. But stop listening to them. If they kick you out the house, so be it. Your peace over everything. Your peace over everything. If they kick you out the house because you didn't go to college, if they kick you out the house because they want you to do what they want you to do, then so be it, my brother. This is a life of a leader. A life of a leader. If you're a natural leader, you know what I'm talking about. We have the hardest life. Because people stop hitting us up. People think we're weird. People think we're ignorant, delusional. Just because we want to follow our own path, bro. So you gotta stop listening to Generation X. Stop listening to Generation X, especially if they're asleep. If you do, you will continue the cycle. The cycle is already continuing. Already. You feel me? So stop listening to Generation X. Stop. It's not gonna get you nowhere mentally. It's not. You're gonna be to a point where you're 40 years old, regretting that you listened to your parents. Damn, I should never listen to my parents to go to college. Damn, I should never spent 12 years in school. Damn, I should have just created that business. Damn, I should have did this. Damn, I should have did that. You don't want to get to that point, bro. All because you listen to your parents. Don't get me wrong. Your parents have good intentions. Your parents have great intentions. All they want to see you do is just win in life. That's all. And that's probably why they're saying it. But your parents will be your biggest downfall at the same time. Real shit. So if you enjoyed this video, man, make sure you guys hit that like button, man. Subscribe for more videos just like this, man. Take good care of yourselves. Eat healthy, all that good stuff. It's been Boy Beast Awaken, and I'm out. Peace.